His shadow is omnipresent, and the episode effectively conveys the idea that evil doesn't always strike directly sometimes, it works quietly, insidiously. The series remains faithful to Tolkien's message that power, in the wrong hands, can lead to irreversible consequences. In Episode 4, we witness the beginning of one of the most pivotal moments in the Second Age, the forging of the Rings of Power. Celebrimbor, the legendary elven smith, returns to his forge. Now, with deeper knowledge and inspiration, he is determined to create artifacts that will preserve the beauty and power of the elves, even as their influence begins to wane. Unbeknownst to him, Sauron, under the guise of Anatar, is subtly guiding him toward a darker path. This episode explores Celebrimbor's motivations, his pride and desire to leave a lasting legacy for the elves. At the same time, it builds tension as we see how Sauron's manipulation becomes more insidious. The audience is aware of the dark fate awaiting Middle-earth because of these rings, but the characters remain tragically unaware. The episode succeeds in capturing the balance between creativity and destruction, a theme central to Tolkien's works. As the first of the Rings of Power are crafted, there's a palpable sense of both achievement and impending doom. The visual effects of the forge, glowing with elven craftsmanship, are stunning, but they also foreshadow the immense consequences of these creations. Episode 5 allows us to take a deeper look into Númenor. Númenorians aren't just regular people, they are a proud and great civilization, close to the elves in wisdom and ambition. But with every step forward, they drift further from their origins, which becomes their tragedy. This episode beautifully captures the spirit of Númenor, its grandeur and majesty, accompanied by an impending decline. The conflict between Queen Miriel and Elendil is a metaphor for deeper philosophical questions. What is the path of a true ruler? Is it more important to stay true to traditions or to embrace change? Elendil, who is not only the father of Isildur but also a symbol of loyalty and honor, shows his resilience in moments of doubt. This adds depth to his character, reminding us of the importance of choices that shape the destinies of heroes in Tolkien's world. In Episode 6, Sauron, having already strengthened his influence in Middle-earth, begins new schemes. Ar-Pharazôn, the main rival of Queen Miriel, becomes more susceptible to dark forces, pursuing his ambitions. His actions closely mirror those of the Dark Lord Sauron, making Ar-Pharazôn a reflection of the very nature of evil, the lust for power and immortality. This episode emphasizes how Tolkien sought to show the subtlety of the choice between good and evil, and how every ambition can lead to tragedy. The political intrigue of Númenor reflects the realities of a world where powerful rulers often fall victim to their own desires. Sauron, in the guise of Halbrand, skillfully manipulates these ambitions, demonstrating that evil doesn't always appear as a direct threat. It can hide in words, promises, and even in the noblest of intentions. Episode 7 is perhaps the darkest in the season. The destruction caused by Mount Doom's eruption continues to spread, and viewers witness the suffering of ordinary people. The Southlands, once lush and full of life, turn into barren wastelands, and the shadow of Mordor looms on the horizon. The series delves into apocalyptic themes, showing how evil can destroy entire peoples and alter the very nature of the land. Interestingly, the series doesn't just depict destruction. We see characters like Bronwyn and Arondir fighting for the survival of their people, even in the face of encroaching darkness. This is a tribute to resilience and hope, central themes in Tolkien's works. As in the books, even when everything seems lost, there is always light, faint, but guiding forward. The 8th and final episode of the second season is a grand finale that ties all storylines together. We see Sauron finally gathering his forces to lead the dark armies of Mordor. This is an epic moment in which the series reaches its peak, showing that evil once again envelops Middle-earth. And new kings like Isildur and Elendil must prepare for the greatest war in history. The creation of the ring artifacts becomes the culmination that connects the past, present, and future of Middle-earth. The scenes where the elves forge their rings, and Sauron unknowingly lays the foundation for his own downfall, are not just beautiful visual moments but deep allegories on power, temptation, and betrayal. The final battle between the forces of light and darkness, preparing the way for future events such as the War of the Ring, emphasizes Tolkien's idea that even when darkness seems overwhelming, there is always room for heroism and resistance. And so the second season of the Rings of Power comes to a close. The rise of Sauron, the forging of the rings, the tragedy of Númenor, and the greatness of the heroes, all these elements make this season unforgettable. The series not only expands the universe of Tolkien, but also adds new dimensions to already known stories. At the same time, it preserves the philosophical and moral aspects so central to Tolkien. So let us continue our journey through Middle-earth, for the greatest battles and the most important decisions are still ahead. It remains to wait and hope for the imminent release of the third season, in which the creators of the series will most likely focus on the story of Sauron, on how he will create the One Ring and destroy Numenor. Write in the comments section what you think about the new season and the joy of the opportunity to finally dive into our beloved Legendarium.